Good evening, everyone. It's Sunday evening. I haven't made a video or gone live all week this week. It's just been one of those weeks. It's been very busy. And getting things done has been a little bit difficult. With these shorter days, it's getting to where I leave in the mornings and I get home. I mean, the sun is usually coming up in the morning when I leave, and it's pretty much setting when I get home from work. There's just no way to get anything done, but I thought I'd come out. I have some time. I had to run into town. My mom wanted to visit for a while, and I'm getting home, and as you can see, the sun is getting very low in the sky. But thank you for clicking on today's video, and I hope if you're new here, if you'll consider subscribing and sharing with a friend. Hit the notification bell and make sure your notifications are turned on to all. That way you won't miss a video or a short or anything I put out. Or you also won't miss it when I go live. And you never know when that's going to be. With my schedule, I really have a hard time scheduling a live, so my lives are generally going to be pop-up lives. They will just show up. I do try not to schedule on some nights because there's other channels I follow that have their lives scheduled on those nights, and I honestly like to participate in the chats on their lives, so. And a lot of my subscribers are also their subscribers, so I know that's where everybody's going to be. But anyways, I have gotten a few things done this week. Let's see, I trimmed back my rose bushes a bit so that on the west entrance of my driveway, so that when it snows and they plow my driveway, they can get in and out easier. The rose bushes had become very overgrown. In fact, one of them is still very overgrown, but I'm going to need a chainsaw to cut that one back. It's got so much old dead wood in it. Back in 2019, we had a bad windstorm in October, and it snapped the power pole in half. And that power pole smashed the rose bush and killed a lot of canes, and I still haven't gotten all that dead wood out yet. So that one needs some major cutting back, but getting someone to come and do that, not all the farmers around here have time, especially right now while it's harvest. They are finishing up potato harvest and really getting into sugar beets now, and so the road gets really noisy. I should have gotten out yesterday, but yesterday it was so windy. We had a really cold wind. I think it only got up to about 65 degrees yesterday was our high, and the wind chill was like at 50, and it was just very, very cold. So I didn't get too much of that done. Anyways, I'll turn you around here and we will check out what we did get done. Hold on for a second. Look at my beautiful truck, which is up for sale, by the way. If anybody wants it, I need about $5,000. I've got a lot of repairs to do on my car. Plus my car needs new tires, and new tires are expensive. But do you notice that something is missing? Yeah, something's missing. It's my big old brush pile. When my neighbor who mows my lawn came and mowed on Friday, he hauled off all my brush. It's gone. Every little bit of it. So, I do have a small tarp out here in the garden because I have been keeping the tomatoes covered up on the nights when it's been getting cold. It got cold last night. Let's see. Okay, zoom out a little bit. And so the tomatoes are still doing good. They're ripening. I've got to get out here and harvest. So I got a lot of my yellow pear tomatoes are really ripe. Oh, And I've got to finish harvesting my, you'll notice, my, look at that. I got rodents eating my tomatoes. See how red that is? This is my Cherokee bush. I'm going to have to pick that one tonight and take it in and eat it. Darn. They're eating my tomatoes. Darn rodents. They're not burrowing into my beds yet, for which I am grateful. But, yeah, it's time to clean these squashes out of here. That one is not going to do anything. It's not even growing. It's actually starting to get a little soft. I need to water my little spruce tree. It's going to get bedded down into the bed this winter. I'll just dig a hole and shove the whole pot in, cover it with dirt and mulch it, and it'll be fine. But at least the rodents are not, they haven't gotten into this. But yes, we did get a frost. Some of my marigolds up here got a little frost bit. They're just a little too tender. This one and this one got killed by frost. These two unknowns are still getting big. They still have not bloomed yet, but look how big the buds are getting. I don't know. Anyways, we still got about another couple of weeks of warmth before nighttime temperatures start hitting the 20s. Moisture moves in, and we have a possibility of snow. I did, if you notice, my rose is blooming. It's blooming. I gotta find a good place to plant it before winter, though, and get it planted and mulched up to really protect the top part there. If that is exposed to cold, it will freeze and kill the plant. That's the problem I have with roses. I know in some areas you don't want to plant this below the soil. You want to keep this above the soil. But here in Idaho, if these are not 4 inches below the soil, they will freeze. This will freeze, and you'll lose your rose. Even though we're supposed to be zone 5A, it's still, our winters are zone 3 winters. You gotta protect your plants. The cucumbers are pretty much all done for. Yep. The peas are wrapping up. They're all turning yellow. But I haven't had to protect that tomato there because the peas provide enough shelter from the cold. It's weird. So much for the garden. But yes, my big brush pile. Now let's go look at what I did to the roses. I told you about them. Oh God, I think I'm going to spend the evening out here tonight. I need I just love watching the sun go down and then spending the twilight hours in my hammock on the warm evenings. And it's a warm evening. It's currently about 77 degrees, unlike yesterday where we didn't get over 65. So, yeah, I don't like winter coming. I don't like cold, but cold is coming. But here, if you noticed in previous videos, yes, it's busy. How overgrown this rose was. I did trim back the inside a bit. I've got to trim back a little more on the inside, but it was very overgrown. It was actually growing out into the driveway. And because of my broken wrist, I really had a hard time manhandling the mower along this little edge. And so it grew up a whole ton of new canes this last summer. And I've got them all cut back. You see what a nice wide edge. I live on a main road. It's a Sunday evening. People are zipping all over. But yes, I cleared out this. I clipped it back. That stone is actually, that stone is my border marker. No canes past that stone. I still got a few more to remove, but That can wait till spring. And I trim back a lot along here so that I can now get my mower through here and keep all these rose canes mowed down. Yes, I have voles everywhere. I actually had my neighbor, when he hauled off my brush pile, tell me, "Did you know you have a problem with voles?" And I had to tell him, I am well aware. I just am financially unable to do anything about it. I have no money to hire an exterminator to come and try to rid my property of voles. So yeah, they're very destructive little creatures. Look at what they've done. I've got holes and trails all over my property. Anyways, I have got this really cut back good. And then I cut back this one a bit too. Uncovered a lot of vole damage. See the voles? Voles have been busy little voles. But I still got to get those weeds out of the way too, because the one thing they do is they push snow up here in this area between the rose bush and the telephone pole. This is where we usually get that huge mountain of snow gets pushed. But I hope I got enough room here for my neighbors with their pickup trucks and snow plows to come through and keep it cleared. So hopefully I don't get drifted in. I mean, I pray every year, but somehow, sometimes I just end up with a big mountain of snow between me and the road. So I'm hoping that, yeah. And I did finish getting some of the broken branches out of this lilac that broke last March when we had that sudden snowstorm that really busted branches. Had a big old one on that other side. And I've been going through and I haven't noticed any more. I mean, I do have some dead stuff out in the middle there, but I haven't noticed any more that I had missed. I pulled a couple last spring out, but because of the rose canes had literally filled this whole area in, I gotta watch where I step. I almost tripped in a vole hole. Anyways, I literally could not get through this area. So I still would like to get someone with a chainsaw to come and remove this branch here. It's a bit too low. Some of these low branches I do need to have removed. Cut them way back there. And then I'll be able to get through here with a mower a whole lot better. In fact, if I can cut them correctly, cut them back correctly, this one probably needs to go cut back. You can see where I had two big branches on it, broke last March. I've got a dead branch there that needs to come out. I got all this dead stuff that needs to come out, but this needs to be cut back. That one there needs to be cut back. Then with my neighbor, when he mows with his riding mower, he'll be able to get through this area. Normally I just take my push mower, but being able to use a riding mower through here will be beneficial and help me keep that cleaned out. And yeah, I think you saw in a previous video where I kind of butchered my snowball bush, because I'm trying to encourage more bottom growth and less top growth, and I'm gonna try to, it's probably gonna get clipped down even more eventually. I'm gonna remove all the old wood and just encourage the new stuff to come up, and then keep the new stuff trimmed so that it doesn't get super big. And look at that, I told you my Nanking cherry is going to turn golden. It is almost completely golden. Isn't that beautiful with the sun shining on it? It is so beautiful. The leaves are all turning to gold. I love fall color. I just don't love the cold weather. And my it's a western sand cherry. And look at that. Look how red these leaves get. Aren't they brilliant? It almost looks like a burning bush. I know, it looks almost like a burning bush, and it gets so red. It's beautiful. Yeah, it really is. And my mountain ash here is starting to turn. Still has birds haven't gotten all the berries. It still has a few berries. The birds like those berries, especially in the winter time. My serviceberry bush is also turning yellow. And it looks beautiful as well. And I really need to get this trellis tied back to the wall. But my Virginia creeper is getting its brilliant red fall color. Oh, that is so pretty. I just love fall color. I just don't love the cold. I sometimes wish I could have fall without it getting cold. I mean, I could if I wanted to move, sell everything, and move way south. I mean, there's areas in the south where I could move to growing zone 9, and it wouldn't get too cold in the winter. I'm starting to get a hint of yellow in my honey locust. Look at that. Still got a bit of green in it. But I think I'm going to get a tree that's going to turn completely gold before the 20-degree temperatures hit. Because once the 20-degree temperatures hit, all the leaves are going to just drop, and it will just be a bark brown tree with gray-brown bark and brown seed pods. There won't be a leaf on it. And I'm pretty sure my weeping willow here will... Actually, my brother-in-law told me I should just leave it as it is and keep it pruned like this. He thinks it looks really good as a low bush. He's going to be having shoulder surgery, so he won't be able to get a chainsaw and come and trim it for me the way I need. He's going to be almost a year recovering. Yeah, I'm going to keep trimming here and trimming there and trim what I can and try to keep on top of it. If I'd kept on top of it from the beginning, I would actually just have a single trunk tree right now. Instead, I've got many little trunks. I really need to trim them down to just a few. But it's still, keeping it trimmed up will make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. I really like it. My weeping willow, and I miss the old willow that I had there, even though it was rotted out in the middle and dying and needed to come down. It was just kind of heart-wrenching back in 2019 when I got home from work and saw the windstorm had literally ripped it in half, and half was on the ground. And in digging on the standing half, that's when I discovered there was a T-post in the middle of it, which was a fortuitous find. So there were some benefits. But yep, everything's turning gold. I'm going to have to get my strawberry pots pretty soon and get them all put in to the raised beds. Start putting them in the raised beds. I've still been producing some strawberries. I've got a couple more here. Got to get everything watered again. I watered it 2 days ago and it's already dry. Nice, soak them down really good. But yeah, they're still trying to produce. Look at those pretty strawberry flowers. Isn't that gorgeous? Anyways, this is our little evening walkabout. I still got trees that got to get planted. The pumpkin patch is pretty much done for. The frost we had, the nights where I was so glad I got everything harvested. It just went to 30-degree temperatures, and yeah, it's done for the year. Right now, what I need to do is get all the tires out. There's still a couple of immature plants here, but you can see the voles have already started working on those. And I don't think they'll ever have a chance to ripen. I might be able to pick them, just put them inside. I don't know. The voles and pocket gophers are really doing a number. Look at that. Big old pile of dirt there, dirt piles here. These are all the pocket gophers. You can see that. And they're just digging up everything. You can see that. You can see all the tunnels. Those are voles. Voles are doing that. I still am coming out here from time to time and picking raspberries, but the raspberries are not, with the cooler temps, they're not ripening as fast. They turn red, but then it takes a few days before they get soft. They'll still be hard. That's good though. I should probably come out here and see what I can pick. Ooh. And they're just little berries. They're almost done for the year. They didn't do that great this year anyways. I've really, as you can see, the grass is really growing back. So come next spring, early in the spring, what I need to do, yes, got voles in here too, is I need to pull out all the soaker hoses that are probably buried in dirt from the voles. You see, I got a soaker hose there. And yeah, rodents. Oops, sorry, I accidentally hit the stop button. Had to start it back up. Anyways, as I was saying, dig up all the canes. I pretty much can tell how many canes I have right now. Not as many as I should have. I do need to come out here and pick a few berries. But yeah, it's like this. It's red, but it's tiny and it's hard. It's not really big and soft. But come this spring, I need to come out, dig up all the canes, cut them all back so they're short. Then I'll have my neighbor who heel them in with some dirt or something. And then I'll have my neighbor who tills my garden. Oh, I forgot it. I didn't see this one. I didn't know we had this pumpkin here. And it's turning yellow. Wow, I need to pick that one too. Need to pick it. I'm finding a few that I missed when I did the harvest. Oh boy. Anyways, I need to refill the bird bath. We still have birds around here, and they would appreciate, especially since we're going to have another week of temperatures in the 70s and probably might even a day or two here and there in the 80s. And they appreciate having fresh water. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear them. See if I can zoom in on that one. See, got a little tree sparrow up there. Look at that. Little tree sparrow sitting up there on the line. Well, anyways, I'll have to come out and pick that one. That one's ready to pick. Put it in with the rest of these. And then sometime either next weekend or the weekend after, I'll need to get some gas money for my kids. Load up all the pumpkins. I'm pretty sure I can fit all of these in my car. Take the car because it gets better gas mileage. And then I will haul these down to my grandkids. I hope they're going to be happy. But yep, now I can fold up the table. Need to fold up tables anyways and get things put away and better organized in here. So, gotta get things cleaned up. Anyways, may end up having to do a dump run while I still have the truck before I find somebody to take it. Yes, it does have a bad rust spot here. That's the worst one. And I have looked up the part, a panel piece to put in there would cost, an unpainted one costs $69. I can't afford it. And this one needs to be something done with it. I don't know how to do repair work. I don't have the tools to grind it down and repaint it, which I guess is what it needs. I would love to repaint the bumpers. They're actually plastic. I don't know, is there something you can use to put on the bumpers to make them black again? They used to be black. I'd love to make it black again. I think if I could make it look better, people would be more inclined to, I mean, I gotta do that. This one's getting a lot of rust on here. This is the metal part of the bumper. This is the plastic part, and I just would like to make it all black again. I think I'd have an easier time getting what I'm asking for if it looked nicer. That's the thing. Well, anyways, this video is getting a little long. The sun is getting low in the sky. I'll come back out in a little bit and let's catch the sunset. And then, well, as usual, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Oh. So we'll see if we can catch a bit of the sunset in a bit. It's not too far off. I better go in and feed my cats right now before I have a rebellion on my hands. I'll talk to y'all later, folks. Oops. Good evening. Beautiful sunset. Let's watch it a little more. Yeah, that was beautiful. Caught it right at the right moment as it was disappearing. Got to zoom in. Had to wait till it got quiet. Had a couple of cars going up and down the road. And it's like, dang, go away, cars. Still a little bit of sunlight grazing the tops of the trees. But yeah, I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend this weekend. My church had a worldwide conference this weekend, so I listened to that. Amazing talks, very spiritual. Nothing like being spiritually fed to make you feel complete and put you in touch with the Almighty. So I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. And please remember the people in the areas affected by Hurricane Helene. They are still doing not very well. There are still areas that are totally inaccessible where there are no roads anymore. There's areas where there's a couple of main highways in North Carolina that one of them isn't going to be finished being rebuilt until September of 2025, and the other one they're saying maybe April of 2026 before it's rebuilt. That is going to be a long time without two main highways. Also, if there are various other... Yep. Oh well, still people driving around. But we have a beautiful sunset. We do get a little noise here out in the country. Oh, that's a low-flying plane. Let's see. There we go. Caught a glimpse of him. Looks like he's headed to the local airport here in Blackfoot. Yep. I hope y'all have a blessed week. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Please remember the people in the affected areas in your prayers. There's still going to be years rebuilding some of those areas. And good night. And I'll see y'all on the next video.